It's me. It's the SOS show with James Lott Jr. It's like, it looks so dark back there and not bright like I am. I'm bright. It's very hot in Los Angeles. I have room darkening curtains on purpose to keep my room cool enough to turn on all my fans and stuff. I have one fan going, but like I want to keep my room cool right now. So it's kind of dark. I'm not putting any lights on. I have one little light here, one over here a little bit. That's it. It's just too hot. Like all this hair in Los Angeles. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is July 11th, 2022. We are in a new month. We celebrated our whole big anniversary month last month doing this. So we're very happy, 7 years. So now, okay, so 8 years, I mean. So now we get back to business. And I'm lining up some guests for you. I'm so excited to come on the show. I just reached out to a couple of people. They said yes, they want to come on. So we'll schedule them, get them going, give you some good tips. There's you some new great organizers. We have this business that has such great organizers. I do want thanks and gratitude, of course. I should always do that first. I believe in giving thanks and always living in gratitude, even in those crazy times. I want to give a shout out to my friend who is a doctor, who's known as Ask the NP. He was a nurse practitioner. He just became a doctor. James Simmons. He is the bomb. You follow him on TikTok at Ask the NP. He gives you such sanity during a time of craziness when it comes to medical conditions, including COVID, like just kind of resting on your fears and talks to you plainly. And I love, love, love him as a person. Dr. James Simmons, love you. My late stepfather, Larry Jones, the second birthday without him, he was born July 10th. I used to call him every time for his birthday, no matter how long we've talked or not talked. Man, I almost took the phone again, and I'm like, I can't call him. He's not on Earth. So he's watching over me. I love you very much, Daddy Larry. Miss you. Just gone way too soon, of course. So I want to say that. Those two things, and yeah. Um, People are like asking me questions about organizing, and I've answered some on here. You can go back to my old episodes. There are a few things that have been updated, so whenever I find languages changed or updates, I always come on here and share them with you. I am so bad at this. I am so bad. My book isn't over here now. My book's in the other room. I have a book, and it's called Small Simply Large Rewards. I was going to show it to you guys. I don't have it with me. But go ahead and get that on Amazon. And I just give you practical tips on getting started. That is the hardest part. This is I titled this episode, Talk Plainly to Me. The hardest part is getting started. The motivation to get started, to ask for help, whatever it is, where to start, how to start, who to start with, that's the hardest thing. And I've done shows on here. You can go back and look at them, listen to them or look at them, whichever way you do this, because we are audio and we're video. What to look for in an organizer. You just type in somewhere, what to look for in an organizer, and it should pop up. But also, I believe in the small steps method. I just believe it with all my heart that it's too daunting. And I have clients who come to me all the time and go, James, you're right. Everything you say about the applying that, it's like you see a huge mound of stuff. You don't want to do it. That's the last thing you'll do is touch it. You can't touch it. So it's like start small always. They really, it does. My little curl right here happening. It does add up. You do patchwork by patchwork, by square, and you actually finish a room. There's no shame in not just going in gangbusters and trying to get everything done. It took you a while to get here. It can take you a while to get out of it. Do not shame yourself going, well, I'm not done in a week or 2 weeks. Why am I not done? Well, it took you 20 years to get there. 2 weeks is a drop in the bucket. So forgive yourself. It is being disorganized or being a hoarder or having hoarding disorder or having disorganization disorder or anything. It's okay. Because luckily there is help for you. There is help out there. It can be changed. It can be worked on. It can be, oh, got bright all of a sudden. It can work. That's the beautiful part. It's not the end game. It's like, well, I just can't do anything. That's it. So when I say talk planning to you guys, it really does and can happen. And then my thing is, I tell people it's not easy. It is, but it isn't, right? You have to be in the mind space, mindset, and body sets to want to get organized and to get started. Sometimes that's the hardest part. That's the beginning part. It's like, my back goes out, this works. You can find ways to still organize with your back out. For example, what that means is, so you don't do any heavy lifting or stretching or whatever, bring boxes to you, sit them at a level on a table or a tray in front of you where you're not having to bend over or bend back or put any kind of pressure on your back. There's a way to do it. Take a drawer at a time, take a drawer out, put it on the couch. If you're found more comfortable on the couch. I talk about, even in my stuff, about watching television. You can say, okay, I'm gonna time this, I'm gonna organize during a television show. I have 30 minutes or an hour, however long it is, 40 minutes with our commercials. And then you just organize during that. You're watching TV, kind of, you're doing some organization. Well, you should pay attention to what you're doing. But the point is, sometimes even hearing the stuff in the background will motivate you, make you laugh, and you're doing something, oh, I like this. And it is, I'm just telling you, there's so much out there that can work, so many different tools that can work for you, that you don't have to go whole hog, big, just like bold. Because that's me, that sounds tiring, just myself just hearing that. Well, that's something I want to do. In my own home, in my room here, I had stuff out from the daytime Emmys. And I had stuff out from this thing over here in graduation and stuff. So I, little by little, each day, grabbed a section, and now my room is really coming together. The floor is almost all empty. I have a few things over here. Really, that's it. The floor is basically empty. And it's wonderful. My room is back almost. I have fixed a table over here and some over here, but other than that, I'm back. And I think but I took my own approach, because also I don't have air conditioning in my house and it's hot. I'm sure some of you guys have the same thing. And you can't organize when you're hot. You can't organize when you're cold. You have to really piecemeal how you can do this. And you should not try to kill yourself to organize. No. We're not doing that either. We're not doing that also. We want you to be in the right frame of mind, the right energy, the right healthiness to get organized. And that's brain, heart, health, legs, body, everything. But it's not easy. And you have to accept, another talk plain thing to you. You have to accept you did this. But you can accept it without judgment. I did it. I am going to try to not do it. I am going to work on not doing it again. I'm going to work on getting it fixed. That's the beauty of it. That's good. That is so good. You are recognizing something without having to live in the mire of it, or in your head, like, I'm a horrible person. That's not going to help you either. You beating yourself up is not going to help either. You feeling embarrassed is not going to help you. You got to let go of all that. Life is life. You're not the only person. I always tell people, I'm sorry to disappoint you. You're not the only person in the world that has a messy house. People are like, I'm sure you've seen nothing worse as this. And trust me, I've seen worse. I've seen better. I've seen worse. I've seen sideways. But you are nothing that special that you think your house is the most messiest house, disorganized house in the country. It's not. And I say that with love. It's just not. So you're okay. And we can fix this. It's not a done deal. You can fix it. So that's why I always say to people, and I say it lovingly. I was like, you're good. It happens to a lot of us, even myself. I admit I get to see. Then what's beautiful is I have places for everything. So when I do finally pick it up and put it somewhere, there's a place for it. My drawers are great. They're not overcrowded. My stuff is hung up. I have cabinets. I have stuff for things. So I set up a system. I set up systems in my house so that when it is messy, every thing has a place to go. Because this messy is messy. I'm busy. I do 10,000 other things in my life. And so sometimes I don't feel like doing dishes. I try to. Or sometimes I make my bed every morning. That's one thing I do. My desk here is a little messy. I've been little by little cleaning it off. I don't feel like doing it all at once. No, I'm not doing it. And it's okay if someone do it all at once. And if you hire somebody, check their policies. For me, depending on my rates and travel, I usually do no less than 3 hours session. Now I've done 2 hours, and I've gotten usually paid well for those 2 hours, so I make it work. Because I live in LA, so transportation costs. So if I can do it where it's cost effective and I can walk home with some money, then I'll do 2 hours. I think, and I work fast, and I'll tell you, I work fast and I'm very thorough. And 2 hours sometimes, I might tell you, we've got a lot done in 2 hours, a lot done. So it can happen. It totally can happen. But mostly 3 hours, 4 hours is usually what I do. I usually don't do longer than that. I've had a few clients I do sometimes, it's a singular project. But I know I get tired. I'm not a street chicken anymore. I know people, if you're working with me, you get tired, clients get tired, and they start to lose interest. And no, we're not doing it while we're tired. It's not a race. Now, this all is kind of a separate thing if you are actually in a time crunch. Hopefully you're not. But maybe it's like you have to leave in a month or 2 months or whatever. That's a different story. Then there's things that can be considerations you have to be made. But even with that though, still, you still have to forgive yourself, and just really just actually one of my clients is actually just texting me, yourself, and it's really just kind of, what's the word, look out for yourself, still take your time on some level, right? Or get the right amount of help to help you with the smaller stuff. And then the organizer will help you will help you decide and pick and choose what you can handle, levels. Professional organizers are wonderful. They have all kinds of things in their pocket they can help you with, because if they're good, they will listen to you, talk to you, assess all that stuff, and really make you feel whatever. So yeah, I think, the key is tough decisions have to be made. You have to make them. You have to look at things a certain way, but take judgment out and just make the decisions of what you see in front of you. Take smaller steps if you can. Know it's work. It's not just like you just wake up and zing, it's done. It's not, it can be fun sometimes, and sometimes it's not fun. Let's just get that out in the open. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's ugly, sometimes it's hurtful. And sometimes it's wonderful and romantic, and when you find certain things, you're like, oh my God, I found that. It's a wonderful thing, and bringing you good memories. So I think those are things you have to really look at. And so, yes, it's very, yes, very good. So yeah, so I just want to come on and talk about that with you guys. I think it's just something we need to kind of hear over and over again, that you're okay, you always have a chance, don't judge yourself harshly, it's going to be okay. I'm a super organizer, James Lott Jr. You can follow me everywhere at James Lott Jr. I have 2 Facebook pages for Super Organizer and the Super Organizer Show. I have 2 Twitter pages, the Super O and the SOS_ show. So follow all of those. My book, of course, is on Amazon. I'm writing 2 more books right now. I'm gonna get those out. I'm on TikTok. I have my long-running series, How to Get Super Organized Under a Minute. Now they have 3-minute lengths. I still do under a minute. That's the title of the show, so I'm not gonna change that. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/James Lott Jr. I am going to start posting organizing stuff in there too, but I do soap stuff and Star Wars and songs, and it's a fun thing. I have 3 different tiers. Join us, become a Lottie, join us. And if you don't want to do subscription service, I do have a thing called buymeacoffee.com. Do that /James Lott Jr. You can buy me a coffee. It's like $5. People buy me coffees, and I'll give you a shout out, like, thank you for my coffee, because this is what I do for a living. This is what James Lott Jr. does for a living. He's an organizer, professional organizer, certified life coach, a lot of help.com. Look for my organizing and life coaching stuff. And I'm a media person. This is what I do. I don't 9-to-5 job. This is what I do. So any little bit, of course, helps. I'll put links in the description. But I love you guys, and let's get organized. We can do this. 2020. Let's get organized.